as well, right? And the recent thing with the acquisition, it was working with all the internal J&J suppliers, but down a lot of the Jabil deal now means we're working with them. In past lives, there's been a lot of like smaller machine shops that can do things for us. Like I said, it's a variety of different things. But consistently, it's interesting over the past, like 20 some years. I've been working with Orchid, kind of, off and on, on different things, different projects, even as I go from different companies. So they've been a steady company I've gone and worked with over time.
And that's interesting. How have they evolved over time? I mean, is it pretty similar to 20 years ago?
No. I think they've kind of had some mergers or some acquisitions that they've brought in a few other capabilities. If I recall right, they've had. I mean, I remember it seemed like they were starting off as a strictly machining company, and then they've added on forging, and then they added packaging components. They added design, so they would actually help do your development and design work. Coding technologies they were then invested in. So they've kind of brought on all these different capabilities to provide many opportunities. I can go to Orchid and it's kind of they could do implants, instruments, and everything for me, and a variety of different types of things. Yeah. So it's been pretty good. I mean, they've been, like I said.
Would you how would you rate them versus others? Sort of in the top decile, the middle, or the bottom decile in terms of sort of your overall experience with them?
Yeah, top. No, you kind of like I said, for 20 years, I know when I want to work with them, I know I'm going to get good quality and good product. Like I said, the only problem I have with them specifically is sometimes they're so busy, my lead times require me to go somewhere else, and I just need something more quickly. But generally they are, I can count on them. I can say that.
Got it. And is that and I guess just back to implants. When you think about implants, do you outsource the full sort of end to end, so the forging and casting all the way through the coatings, or are there specific steps that you do in-house or otherwise? It
depends. Ideally, if that that's one of the benefits of using Orchid is they can you can give them a requirement, and it's an implant that has to say the good example right there. You say using a forged component, then they do a secondary machining operation, then they may add a coating. You could do it all right with them, and it's a very streamlined process. They handle parts being shipped back and forth between their facilities, and all you basically see is the part come in from Orchid, and you don't have to worry about all the logistics. So that's a good thing with working with them. But it kind of depends on the product that you're doing.
Got it. And I guess as J&J just outsourced a bunch of the factories, as you say, is that something that sort of wholesale lines or wholesale factories being outsourced, is that something you think will continue, or it was this one-off with Jabil and then we'll go back to steady state?
Well, I expect they'll probably try to be doing more of this. I think just generally for the reason is that the organization we have is not set up to be a good competition with companies like Orchid. The cost, for example, for us to make a plate or a screw, due to like some of the burdens that we have that because we're DePuy Synthes is still part of Johnson & Johnson, and then they have so sometimes the big company, the bureaucracy adds so much to it, and we found that that's not where our strengths lie, and so that I think from that standpoint. But I think you could say that's common to a lot of bigger companies, the bigger corporations, Zimmer Biomet's, right? Some of the bigger companies like